Hey, we should host another group build sponsored by the podcast.
Sure, but it needs to be a race car this time.
Yeah, something that can race on asphalt or dirt.
And night and different types of weather. That would be pretty cool.
And can fly.
Wait, what?
What you talking about, BG?
Hey, I got it. Rally cars.
Yes.
What date should we run the build for?
How about January 31st? It can start and go to December 31st. That's a good amount of time.
Sure, I can work with that.
Okay, but I gotta say, I'm a little concerned about the defying gravity thing. I haven't had much luck in that lately.
Join the Scale Model Car Podcast 2025 Rally Cool Rally Car Group Build and build that rally car model kit that's been sitting on your shelf ever since you brought it home from the hobby store and said, I'm gonna build that one day, because now is your chance.
How's it going, all you scale model car junkies out there? Welcome to the Scale Model Car Podcast with your hosts, BG, Chuck, Luca, and Jason.
Hello and welcome to episode 38 of the Scale Model Car Podcast. This, of course, is your friend Mr. BG, along with your hosts, Chuck from Chuck's Hobby Spot, Matt from the Luca C channel,
Hey, everybody.
and Jason from Blue Ox Model Shop.
Hello, everybody.
And if you're watching this on Spotify and or the YouTubes, you might notice we have a fifth wheel on our model car today, and that's our good friend, Mr. Art Laski. Hello, Art.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Thank you for joining us, sir. We really appreciate that. We are enthused that you're here with us because it was like a last minute thing. We just sort of threw together last week and we're like, yay, let's have Art. And Art's like, yay, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yay!
And it's like the most excited I've ever seen Art. So that's cool.
Yeah, wow. Art, calm down, would you please? Jeez. And I would like to just mention to everybody and give a little congratulations to our buddy BG, because he is now a part of the Andy's Hobby Headquarters family. He has started work over at Andy's Hobby Headquarters' new mega store.
Awesome. We're in the inn now.
Yes.
Yes. We get to pay full price.
Yay!
What's this in thing?
We're in the inn.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you what, I got to finish this up because I have to go to work. But thank you very much, Matt. Appreciate that.
Happy.
All right. Let's go ahead and start the roundtable where we all get to talk about something that's going on our bench and or channel. And we'll start off with spinning the wheel. Jason.
God, me again?
Don't look away from the camera.
Yeah, exactly. Not a lot is going on the bench. All the typical stuff on the channel. Just doing my best to keep up with my videos. We got the Blazer. I talked about last time that I was going to start. Well, I did. I started the Blazer.
Is that primed now?
That is primed.
What's a dark primer? Is that just black primer?
That's Mr. Surfacer 1500 Black.
Good choice.
So we got that. I haven't had a lot of time to work on it because we've gone to shows the past 2 weekends in a row. So, yeah, that's about it, though. Just wishing I had more time to work on models.
Those pesky shows just get in the way, right?
Yeah, but thank gosh I'm done with those until fall.
That is strange how your season's kind of stalled right now.
Yeah, it's weird, but it is what it is.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason. Let's go to Chuck. What have you got going on your bench and or channel, sir?
Well, I have a lot going on my bench. We have been getting some progress on the 37 Ford Revell kit, and I'm digging that thing. We're going somewhere with there. We're almost all mocked up. I just started the 55 Chevy 1/16 scale kit. I've got odds and ends, some stuff I 3D printed that I'm going to start working on. We also are doing some resin projects with 55 Ford resin wagon that we're going to start too. So got a lot going on. And plus this, I got some stuff going on with the house too. I got to start doing some remodeling on my house in the master bedroom. And yeah.
Remodeling on the house, really?
Yeah, well, I remodeled a lot of stuff in the house already, but I'm going to do a closet. I'm going to renovate my closet.
Okay,
there.
so quick question: how long is it going to take you to 3D print a new closet?
It could take a long time.
It could take a while.
Dude, they're like 3D print houses now. That's
They
awesome.
are.
yeah.
do.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
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 A lot of resin.
They
A
just
lot
passed,
of resin.
yeah, they just passed that whole Lego idea and went right for the printing thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you find that on Colts or what?
You know what? I know somebody that can design it. So
Yeah, but it's going to be like, 3 inches square. Just water it. Just water it,
Yeah.
bro. It's like a chia pet. Cool,
that's
man.
all I got.
Right on. How about you, Art? What have you got going on your bench?
Not a heck of a lot at the moment. I had actually I have a bunch of Salvino's Indy cars that I need to finish. I was asked to do 4 of them. I finished 1. I got 3 more to do, and
Wow.
so they're about, I don't know, 85% done. So I need to get back to them. I took a little pause to go to the show last weekend, and I had put together one of Mike Alvarez's little Porsche IROC Porsches that Marv Alvarez gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Mike had it like already cleared and decaled and everything, so I just put it together. And so yeah, I got to get back to those Indy cars so I can do something for myself soon.
Man, if I had known you got one of those already decaled and cleared, I would have happily traded you for the Ford Sienna Cosworth that I got, because I'm like, oh man. But that's a whole other topic. Anyway,
Yeah.
Cool. So 85% done. Is there like a particular point in the model build where you just kind of hit a wall? You're like, I'm done for right now. It's like the 85% mark.
Well, what happened was I was doing 4 of them at a time. And there's some tasks you can do all at the same time, like you're painting all the parts at one time.
Yeah.
And then you get to certain points where it's like you got to do a whole lot of work on one and then go and do a whole lot of work on the other. And you can't do it like a production line. And so Salvinos had asked me to finish 1 because they wanted to send it to the show in Germany, the Nuremberg Toy Fair, to the distributor over there. And so I just hustled and did the 1 and left the others in the state they were in. So I got to go back to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
Art does a lot of builds for them. Like for instance, one that he had at the show when he came out here, that Petty Roadrunner. That was a pre-production build he did for them for the photo shoot. What'd you do it for them to take to one of the shows? And
yeah, they took it over to Vegas. They do that show in Vegas over there once a year, I think around November timeframe or something.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to have that because it was there.
That's right. I remember that.
Okay.
You nailed the color, dude, man. That looked very much like Petty Blue. I wonder why. But
yeah,
what paint did you use on that?
That was splash paints on it.
That looked great. And if anybody who's got an eye will notice, because it was a pre-production, they had forgotten to put the trunk lines in it. So he doesn't have a trunk that would open on that car.
No.
But man, it looked beautiful.
That's what scribers are made for.
That's right.
Yeah. I didn't even know it wasn't there till they showed me or talked about it after, the kick out. I was like, oh, wow, man. I didn't have to, did it?
Yeah.
It has the sidelines, just not the one that goes across the back window.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah. It doesn't have that on his model. It looked great anyway.
That was the fastback version. Yeah. Okay. It was a one-off, right?
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Art, guess what? I happen to have a picture of it right here.
Awesome.
Where is it?
It's right over your face. That's why you can't see it.
You always ruin my editing magic, Chuck. That's why I don't like you.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much, Art. And now let's go to Zemet.
Oh, well, thank you. I've actually, again, I've been doing Salvino's JR Models work this whole week. All I've had on the bench. I'm trying to get this multimedia Lotus 38 done and ready to start casting parts, which I'll be casting parts this weekend for, because the molds are just about all wrapped up. But it was a whole lot of prepping the parts and claying them up. That claying takes a long time. If anybody's familiar, when you have to make molds, you got to do one side, so you got to clay up everything where the plug will be. and you want that to be very neat. So your mold, your end result is very clean. And when I cast, I like to have next to no flash when my parts pop out.
Mhm.
So that took some time, but I'm really glad that's coming down to an end, because I've got a 57 Chevy I want to start working on that I want to have done for the What's a Pomona show that we've talked about so much. Because their theme over at Spirit Speed is try 5. So I'm going to have my 57 Chevy Gasser done for that. And I am going to work on putting a nice, cool candy paint job on it that I really figured out what I'm going to do from our friend Mike Schnurr, who he won first. Did he win first place this past weekend with that?
Yeah, he won first place, first category. Yeah,
that Cadillac was cool, and
here's a picture of it right here.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Man, I just love the shade of red he had on that, and it was kind of funny. Him and I were talking about when we all went over to your house after the show, and he kind of explained to me he was using the same paints that I was planning on using, but he just was going to use something different for a base coat, and we'll leave that in a video I got coming up for one I said I was going to use. Other than that, same thing, and I'm looking forward to doing it to this 57 Chevy. Be nice red, candy red type thing. So that's what's going on, and that's what I've been working on the channel. And one last thing, I worked in conjunction with the Auto Modeler magazine, and Scott did a wonderful interview with Randy Durr and Mark Jones over their little head-to-head that took place at the last GSL. And man, it's a great interview if you go over to the channel and check it out. And what's really great about this interview and this video is I'm not in it, so everybody can really truly enjoy it.
I'm looking forward to that. I'll actually watch that one.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it.
Man. Love you, man. Well, if you guys might be asking silently, but BG, what do you have going on your bench? Well, I'll tell you. Not a lot, because we were just recovering from the show last weekend. Still trying to get a couple things accomplished at the bench. And I decided to do a palette cleanser build, so I worked on a Gundam. Oh, I hear you guys saying. But no, it's fun. It was a cool kit. I got it at the Lobby of Hobbies because I went there to buy a display case for something else. They had that coupon thingy going, so I was like, oh, this costs mere dimes. So I went ahead and got it and put it together, and I'm working on it right now, doing all the little panel lining and stuff. But I'm still trying to finish up the other small scale build we were supposed to be doing for Mike Alvarez's memorial. And I just have to add the back window to this little guy. But the decals all splintered on me when I was doing the 43rd scale car. And I let them dry overnight. And then I actually sprayed the entire body. These are very delicate decals. Sprayed the entire body with the Mr. Hobby, the UV cut one.
Oh yeah? That's good stuff.
I sprayed it over the top of this couple of heavy coats. And I figured if they come off, I'll just strip it, do it as a street machine, and they look great. Sealed them down, so saved it. I just didn't have the guts to try that the night before the show when we were supposed to be, finishing off everything. I was like, I'm either going to destroy this, or if I put it off 24 hours, possibly save it. So just have to put in that rear window, and then I can sandwich everything together. And a good friend, Mark Anderson, said, when you're working on those starter kits, those resin kits, don't use the screw that's provided, because that screw will start to rust over time and will swell and split the resin. So he says to just epoxy the body to the chassis. So I now need to go buy some epoxy, and then that's gonna be the thing for me.
Rust and swell.
Cool.
You
I'm
bring
glad
that
I know
into
that.
the beach? What's the deal?
Yeah, I was wondering. You're in Arizona. I'm not sure.
I got one of those right here. I want to.
Well, when it's bath time, you got to have stuff to take in with you. So, yeah, starter kit playing in the water. All right. So, thank you all for participating in the roundtable. One last thing before we move on from that, we want to give a shout out to our buddy Mitch from New Mexico, because most of us got a chance to meet him at the show last Saturday, the Desert Scale Classic.
Great
and
builder.
He's a great builder. Did an awesome job with the little coffin build from Revell.
Oh, boy,
And earned one of our poker chips, and we got a chance to talk to him, and he was ecstatic about that and gave us the lowdown on that build. We were even more impressed when we heard about what he'd done, but we wanted to just give him a shout out and say hi to Mitch and his son. Hope you guys are listening, and we'll see you at the next one, I guess, right?
He inspired me. That guy inspired me to do a build like that little coffin.
Yeah.
He just polished that thing, and it looked luscious, man. That thing was so nice.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't have a bad looking model on any table. I mean,
Nope.
he was like top shelf. He's a top shelf builder, that guy.
He's a top shelf builder, and his little coffin is actually the thumbnail for our video of the show. So
Oh yeah.
So
That's right.
Please go watch that. But other than that, Mrs. BG was killing it, doing her usual videoing of everything. I still have to do the vendor table video editing on that. But I've been busy with work and stuff because I now have a boss.
You are a working man.
I'm working for the man, and that man is Andy. Cool. All right. Let's move on to the super sweet stash shelf stuff, and we'll start that one with. Let's do Matt.
Oh, that's going to be real easy because I haven't bought a thing.
Thanks for participating. How about you, Chuck?
He's like, well, unfortunately I've bought a lot of things.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Sorry, your time has passed.
I got some glue from Iceman. Okay, now you can go on, Chuck.
What are you going to put it on? A model?
Can you use that on your mouth?
Oh. Wow.
Was that too far?
I have to bring up the app on my phone that activates the taser that's on everybody's neck in this podcast.
Oh, we all love Matt. We have banter.
We have banter.
Healthy banter.
Healthy banter.
That sounds like a really crappy healthcare system.
Or a really boring metal band.
Yes. I would listen to them. Helps me go to sleep at night. All right, so super sweet Sassville stuff.
So I had bought a couple kits that I thought were really cool. I don't have a lot of room for kits anymore, so I've been buying small scale stuff ever since that little group build that we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And John Teresi, he bought a couple kits, and he said, "Hey man, there's a couple more small scale kits," and I went and looked, and I was like, "Okay." So we bought another 356 Porsche. This thing is awesome. I think this is 132nd.
Yeah.
And then we bought this one, which is a 143rd.
All those things, yeah.
This is a 289 Cobra.
Yeah.
I want to make it match my other Cobra I did, so I thought that'd be kind of cool. And we bought 3 other small scale kits. I think I bought a Lamborghini and a Porsche and a Ferrari.
What?
A Porsche.
You have to cut them a break. Those are so small they can't fit the whole word on them.
Yeah, and hold on a minute, Matt. What is this? You tell me what it is.
What is it? Let me see. It's a Ferrari.
Ferrari.
He blew his own joke. Too late. Can't do it now.
There you are, Matt.
What is it? It's blurry. A Carrera 4 from Stuttgart? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we bought a bunch of small scales, and I'm going to have fun with those. So that's pretty much it.
You going to open the doors on those?
Actually, that Lambo has a door, one of the doors open on that.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Whoa.
So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
So only one side. I'm not going to open the other side.
That's so you can back it up.
Yeah, definitely. So
that's cool. So I've learned working on these small scale ones is that just because it's a smaller model doesn't mean it goes quicker.
No,
not necessarily.
And it doesn't mean it's easier either.
Exactly. If anything, it makes it worse.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Jason, how about you? You got something to share with us?
Yeah, I picked up a couple of really cool things at the shows this past couple of weeks. First thing I grabbed was this really cool Hasegawa kit.
Oh,
Calisonic, what?
The Calisonic Nissan R89C. I'm really thinking this is going to be this year's 48-hour group build. That's coming up.
nice.
Yeah.
So
That's
the
nice.
decals are junk. So I'm going to look for a different set of decals for this, but that'll be okay. Even if I have to change it to a different livery, I'm fine with that. It's a cool kit.
I love those prototypes.
And then I picked up the Stranger Things pizza van, which is not going to be a Surfer Boy pizza van. We're going to do this like a California style actual surfer van. I have some 3D printed surfboards that we're going to put on the top of it. We'll have fun with that.
Sweet. So Volkswagen's at the coast. You know what that means? Rust
Exactly.
Yeah. Around everything.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cut to grass.
Hey.
I was listen. I got 2 acres of lawn, dude. I got to cut the grass a lot. I found this kit in Sanford, Maine, and I'm pretty sure at last year's show I tried to buy this, and the guy had like $65 on it, and I said I really want that kit, but that's a little bit too much money for me for that. This year it was $25.
Oh, yeah. Niceness.
So that's the Thunderbird Legends combo. This is my favorite body style Thunderbird NASCAR. I love these square birds. It's got the number 20, got the number 21, and I think I'm going to try to find decals to turn this second one into a Bill Elliott square bird. So that's the plan for that.
I've never heard them called square birds before. I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of comes from the NASCAR guys.
Yeah.
They always refer to it the square bird, and in '83 that was the jelly beans.
Yeah.
Or
But
the rocket.
that's cool. $25 for that kit. I could not. And like I said,
No, that's a good deal because that's basically, like $12 a kit.
Yeah. So,
$12.50 a kit. Oh, I did all that math in my head too. I
you did a good job too. Good job mathing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm good at mathing when I think about it.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I didn't get anything really cool like glue from Iceman, but
Well, there's some of us, and then there's all the rest of you.
yeah, that's it.
Nice callback, Jason.
You're
That's
welcome.
awesome. As an interesting side note, since you mentioned the 48-hour group build, the dates have changed, and they're going to be July 11th through the 13th. Yeah, July 11th. They had to move it up, I think, a week and a half or 2 weeks, something like that. So just be apprised of that, to let you guys know.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm already picking out stuff to build, and they are not going to be small-scale starter kits. That is for certain.
I haven't even begun to thunk what one I wanted to go for yet.
Art, what have you got going on with your super sweet stash shelf stuff?
Well, I don't have anything new, but I ran downstairs to see what I have that I'd be interested in doing soon, and I pulled out this one.
Oh,
Fujimi Ayrton Senna go-kart.
no way.
Oh,
That's
that is
cool.
awesome.
Whoa, I didn't even know that was ever kitted.
Did you make that? Did you make that? Because I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, I faked it up just for you guys.
Okay.
They have a few versions of this. They have another one that I have downstairs too with bodywork on it, but this is the actual Senna version. And some guys do this online, and they do some mods to it where they kind of redo the front spindles and stuff, kind of make it a little more accurate, a little less clunky. And there's some tips on doing the uniform and everything. But yeah, I thought it'd be a pretty cool kit.
Yeah, man, that is awesome.
Well, what scale is it?
It's 1/20th.
Nice.
But even at 1/20th scale, it's a go-kart, so it's smaller than BG's midget, really.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah.
True.
I have a very interesting tidbit of information about the Senna kart. Did you know that Lake Speed from NASCAR fame beat Senna for the world championship in kart?
He did.
You know that?
Yeah,
He
I
did.
knew that.
Yeah.
I'm an old go-karter from the early 80s, so I've been around the hobby for a long time. And so Lake Speed was definitely in the mix back then. When he got into NASCAR, it was kind of a big deal in the karting.
Right.
And he still is karting.
Yeah,
Yes.
again. Yeah.
Yep, he is.
Yep.
Vintage karting's really big these days, and he's into that.
Oh, really?
There's a vintage karting. Oh, I
Yeah.
need to crack an internet. I'm not up on that at all.
Right.
Yep.
That is so cool, man. So
Right.
that is awesome. Okay, good choice. Well, over here, I picked up a couple of kits recently. One we got in Denver, or Denver, however you want to pronounce it. I did it correct. But we got a Johan Eldorado Cadillac kit. This guy here, with all the fake wood decking on it. Not 100% sure what that wood decking decals are supposed to represent, but maybe it's supposed to be camouflaged as a wood pile or something. But yeah, it's got cool looking skis and stuff on there. So couldn't pass up. Mrs. BG actually found that one, and as soon as she found it, I was like, "Go over and gloat in front of Chuck." She's like, "Okay."
Did
I
So then-
remember.
a deal on it?
That's a good one. That's a really, really nice kit.
We'll have to
Detailed.
do a video on this one, yeah. And then this other guy we got in Colorado as well is the 1994 release of the Beatnik Bandit by Mr. Ed Roth.
Nice.
Nice.
I like that car. I also have the Mysteriod. I never used to like that, and then all of a sudden, I think that thing is cool, so I bought that kit also, and the prices were super reasonable up in Colorado, so I snagged those. And then I
What's
also
cool
bought.
though is your taste changes after a while, huh? Like you could be buying stuff and then you're like, I never thought I'd like that, and then all of a sudden you're liking stuff you never thought you'd like.
I think it's because my vision's getting blurrier. But then went over to Art's Table, and I bought all of this cool stuff from Detail Master. Got all this from Art.
Nice.
Technically, I got it from Lisa, but still, I got it at Art's Table. But we're set. We're
That
set.
Top Studio stuff you got there is probably going to get hard to get with the economic conditions and tariffs.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
good
think
point.
from Hong Kong, and I don't think Hong Kong's shipping anything to us right now.
No.
Oh no! I wish I'd known that. I would have just given you my credit card.
I wish I'd told you.
Well, I got the 1/20th/24th scale toggle switches, and I like these. These are great. Very cool.
One of the best.
And then also they carry those muffler springs that actually end up being perfect for throttle return springs too. You were the one that put me onto those, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that takes care of the super sweet stash sale stuff. Now on to the Northeast Model Car, Paul.
All right. So we're going to start with upcoming kits, because the list of upcoming kits is way shorter than the list of shows that I have. So coming late June from Mobius.
Is it?
No,
Is it? Drum roll.
no. This is my new fun thing to do every single time.
Drum roll. No. Wah, 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 wah,
Yep.
wah, wah, wah.
Coming late June from Mobius is the 1965 BFX Mercury Comet Cyclone. That has the newly tooled small block drag engine in it. So it's going to be the same Arnie Bestwick 65 Comet, right? But it's going to have that really cool, never before seen small block drag engine. So
Can I interrupt you just for 1 sec?
sure.
That pickup that I was thinking it was going to be today. I even wore my Pegasus hobby shirt, and I was like thinking this was the day, dude.
Yeah,
And it wasn't.
you're wrong. Sorry.
Not happening.
No, look at the look on his face. It's so sad.
I know.
Everybody wants that truck.
Everybody.
Everybody wants that
Everybody.
truck.
And you know what? It's been, so what they do, announced that like almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years
Yeah.
ago.
Why
Yeah.
didn't you
And
do that?
then crickets for 2 years.
Art, do you know what we're talking about?
Not really.
It's like a 68 or 9 C10 short bed that Mobius said they were going to come out with, and they kind of tricked us. Maybe it was on April's Fools or something that they put
I
it
don't
up.
know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
maybe.
it was October of 23 when they
Yeah.
Still waiting, huh?
quasi announced it.
Still waiting. And
Can you imagine the kit that would have been?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it would have been
I
cool.
bet you it's gonna come. They're not gonna completely write it off.
Well, he is just hoping I'm alive to see it.
Now I think they're in on this thing with the Scale Model Car podcast and screwing with me now.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday, and I say, that Chuck. Any way we can break his heart, we will help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. They're already out, Chuck. They just haven't been saying anything about it.
Exactly. I mean,
We're keeping.
and they
you
hide them
apart.
from you. Every website you go to, they hide them from you.
Crazy.
They got your IP.
And then the monster keeps stealing your newspaper off the lawn every morning.
Exactly. Oh gosh. Well, I can tell you a line of Chevys that Mobius is coming out with also in June is the old Fleetmaster series from Galaxy Unlimited.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that's
would-
cool.
That would be the coupe, the Aero sedan, and the sedan delivery. So this, I am told by a very reliable source that those might be a short run. So if you see them pop up on your websites or in your hobby shops, grab them because you might not get them again.
I wonder if the trailer's going to come out.
They had a trailer for those?
Galaxy
Well,
trailer.
Galaxy Unlimited
Yeah.
trailer.
Nice.
Okay. Well, heck,
Wow.
Nice.
I forgot all about that trailer, actually.
me
I got
too.
2.
Of
I
course you
got a
do.
couple myself. Yeah, they're nice.
Of course you do. Anyway, moving on to upcoming shows. So, April 26th, the 37th annual NNL East. That's sponsored by the Tri-State Scale Model Car Club with the help of Diversified Scalers Model Club. That's held at the Wayne Powell Building, 1 Powell Drive in Wayne, New Jersey. The show theme is circle track vehicles, and the sub theme is race team transporters. That would be the premier show in the north-ish east. It's New Jersey. It's like up here, but not quite up here. So go check that out. Next, a couple of last-minute additions to the show from our good friend, Mr. Strange. May 4th, the Sacramento Autorama, held at the California Expo Center, Sacramento, California. That show is sponsored by City Styles Model Club. That is all the info I have. So Google that. And,
Google.
Google it.
Google it.
Google it. Then May 10th, the Mid-Atlantic NNL held at the Level Volunteer Fire Company, 3633 Level Village Road, Havre de Grace, Maryland. The theme of that show is 60s drag cars and Mopars. Then, May 16th and 17th, Modelrama, presented by Chopped and Glued Club, in conjunction with the Hoosier Vintage Wheels Car Show Series. That's held at the Johnson County Fairgrounds, 150 Fairground Street in Franklin, Indiana. That is a brand new, never before seen show. So go check that out if you're in that area of the country. Show them some love, and so they'll do it again next year. Then next is, let's see, this is kind of weird the way I've got this written. Okay, here we go. May 17th. SilverCon 2025. That's hosted by the IPMS Silver Wings chapter. Held at the Town and Country Lutheran Church, 4049 Marconi Ave, Sacramento, California. Our friends Billy from Billy Strange Auto Models and Ted from Rattle Can Shenanigans will be there. Go to that show. Find each one of those guys and say hi to them because they will appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And ask them for autographs, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
autographs. Good.
Yes,
good call.
autographs. Lots and lots of autographs.
Yes, and pictures. Pictures. Too.
Pictures and autographs.
And tell them we sent you and get 10% off a hug.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
We'll just watch the chaos unfold.
It'll be great. Next, May 18th is the RTS Expo Contest and Marketplace. That's held at the Franklin Elks, 1077 Pond Street, Franklin, Massachusetts. Then May 24th, Best of the West 2025, sponsored by IPMS Las Vegas. That's held at the Orleans Hotel and Casino. Big show. I think at least one of these guys is going to be there. Chuck will be there.
Brian, are you going?
Can't make it. How about you, Art?
No,
I can't go either.
sucks.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody in that portion of the country, go find Chuck.
Whoa.
Say hi. Ask for autographs and pictures.
And hugs.
And hugs.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're going to come up to me. They're going to come up to me, and I'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Who are
I forget.
you? I'm not Chuck.
Imagine the hate mail after that show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give me a hug. What the heck?
Yeah, what the heck? May 31st, the Capital Area Modeler Society Spring Classic Model Show held at the Fredericton High School, 300 Priestman Street, Fredericton, New Brunswick. This is a show that is up in Canada. Our good friend Chris Martin, that's his club show. So if by chance you're in Canada and you're at that show, find Chris Martin, ask him for an autograph, a picture, and a hug. Those are free in Canada, from what I hear.
They're free in Canada? Oh,
yeah,
good.
it's going to be pretty cool. The theme for that, for automobiles, is Thunderbirds, and the military theme is Warsaw Pact. That is an IPMS show.
I see that.
Then, June 7th through the 9th, Model Expo. This one, I don't think. Well, maybe. Model Expo Springvale 2025 in Springvale, Australia. That's all the info they really sent me for that show. There is plenty of time, though, that if the person that sent that info in is listening to this by chance and can send more, maybe a show flyer, a little bit more info about that, that would be pretty cool. So,
I'll double check the email, see if there's anything else in there.
well, the email that was forwarded to me was not really informative, other than what I just gave you guys. So
cool. I love the fact that we're announcing in Canada and Australia. That's
pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And that, folks, wraps up the Northeast Model Car Report.
Woo!
Multinational Northeast Model Car Report.
Multinational.
Cool. Thank you very much, Jason. Appreciate all the hard work you did on that.
Yeah, that was a fantastic job you did, Jason. I just want to let you know that.
What do you need?
We'll talk.
Okay.
New computer. All right. Moving on to 3D printer news with Chuck.
Well, we ain't got a lot going on today, so because of the last show, everybody we represent that we do this for, they were at the show. So
right.
I'm gonna go ahead and start with Chris Bell and Josh Reese at the same time. So
okay.
What the heck? Why not?
Those guys traveled to our local show, hung out with us, and they just wanted to say thank you for all the hospitality and everyone that came up to them and introduced themselves and chatted with them, spent time with them. And also Chris, everybody that cheered him up after his massive wreckage on the plane. So a lot of his stuff got destroyed, and and he was pretty bummed out. But I think being around a bunch of friends kind of cheered him up. So
Yeah.
he wanted to say thanks for that. And also they have that.
And thank you, American Airlines. I'm going to put that out there.
Yes. Also, their Pro Stock Effing Everything group bill started on Tuesday, and that runs through the end of the year. So if you guys want to get in on that, feel free to jump in on that. Also, Chris has got that Scale Speed Garage lifetime membership flash sale coming out soon. So that's what they got going on. Not much traveling kind of screwed everybody's week up, and even mine, and I didn't even travel that far. So with Joel from Iceman Resins, he has that 112 custom shadow bike, which Brian, I think you built it, didn't you?
I know. I actually did the Moto Compo.
Oh, okay. Oh no, no, never mind. It's the one he had on display, the regular shadow bike. Yes,
right.
And the Hot Rod Ford tractor, very cool kits that he had out on display at the show that we were at. So that's what he's got coming soon, guys. So don't forget to visit those guys' website, Scale Speed Garage, BCG Resins, and Iceman Collections. So
do you know that? Right on. Thanks, Chuck. Did you know that the tractor was the debut of it at the Desert Scale Classic? Nobody's seen it out yet.
Yeah, that's what he was.
That was awesome. Me. Yeah, pretty cool. Cool. Yeah. Thank you very much, my friend.
All right.
All right. So that brings us to some guy who's going to read some emails.
Who's that?
Right. My favorite part.
Hi, it's me. Did you guess it was me? Because it's me.
It's me, GB.
Okay. Helistexia is kicking in.
GB, goodbye.
Is that because of the bus dunnies?
Yes.
Oh man, you remember that?
Yeah.
No.
All right. So let's see here. Art, hopefully you can weigh in on this here because it happens to be about shows, and it's from most of us friend Justin Ryan, and it says subject non-com model shows. He says, "Hey fellas, just finished up whatever episode number it was with the discussion on the non-competitive model shows. That was a fantastic topic! Exclamation point! I wanted to suggest to y'all that you find yourselves going to a gold, silver, bronze, or open style show. These are fantastic shows where your models are judged, but it is against yourself rather than the models next to yours. I want to formally invite you guys to the show that my club puts on. It's the MFCA. MFCA. Okay, MFCA. I'm like, that's how I hear people talk about California. Show in festival. I think this says Feasterville. Show in Feasterville, Pennsylvania on Friday and Saturday of Mother's Day weekend. We are a figure club, and it is, capital letters, a figure show, but we have an ordnance class, and we would love to have some cars on display as well. Let's see, MMSI in Chicago and the Rocky Mountain Hobby Expo are similar in judging. And let's see, ArmorCon. Yeah, ArmorCon in, he says, it's a typo, but I'm saying it, New Hampshire. maybe that's a cat reference for Jason. Oh yeah, here he goes. New Hampshire (parentheses Jason) is the same system. Also, BG, thank you for thinking that I'd be a good person to teach an airbrushing seminar or weathering or the like. It makes the guy feel all warm and fuzzy. Shows like ArmorCon and the AMPS National Show and our show, the MFCA, are all shows that have seminars running throughout the show. They can be a fantastic way for modelers to learn new tricks. I wanted to challenge you car guys.
Here we go.
Here.
to
hold on to your lug nuts.
Don't say GTO.
To get to a show that is outside of your typical show experience is a fantastic thing. It's fantastic, the things you can learn and the people you will meet. And Matt, this is one of my favorite Jackie Martin insults. I hope your next shot square.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oh, and then he mentions me. And BG ... The visual of running your tongue across the desk was a graphic AF. I loved it. Okay, I'm glad you like that. He says, "Oh, and hate mail for Chuck." That's
Perfect.
all he says. Just, you know.
Oh man. Well, see, hate mail from Justin. That's all he's got to say, and that
Yeah.
hurt.
So he says, "Tenderly yours, Justin Bad Santa Ryan," or as Jason and I refer to him, Justolium Rylon.
Just totally.
Tenderly. Wow.
So that was from Justolium Rylon. And then next one. Next one is from JC, and subject is, oh, I take that back. You know what? Let's find that back. Thoughts on going to shows that are outside of your genre comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
So I go to them all. I've even gone to that really awesome sci-fi show in as a matter of fact, Louisville, Kentucky. That's a killer show. If you're into sci-fi or even just a little bit into sci-fi, or if you just like Star Wars. That's a good show to go to. It's fun, all kinds of great resin figures you can see, the paint jobs and everything. It's awesome. Really, really.
It's a bucket list show for me.
Yeah, you need to fill that bucket and go.
Yeah.
But Art, what would your take on that be with going to shows outside of your genre?
I mean, I'm like you. I like to go to them all, IPMS shows. I like, and you get a different culture with every show.
Yeah.
Non-judge shows are fun. I mean, NNL West is one of the funnest shows you can go to and hang out. NNL East, which I went to 10 years ago, that was a lot of fun too, So, I like them all myself. I think if I had a choice, I like the judge shows.
Me too.
But that's just a personal preference. Most of it's just the camaraderie and seeing people and looking at all the model art on the tables. That's really what's for me.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, the majority of the shows I go to are. So I get where Justin's coming from as car modelers, right? But so the only real car show that I go to, other than NNL East, that's nothing but cars, is my club show. The rest of the shows that we hit over here on the East Coast are all IPMS shows. So I'm kind of there, Justin.
I wasn't really into shows much, just outside my wheelhouse, and then I started going to the local Model Zona show, which is IPMS, of course, and seeing everything. There was somebody who had done a werewolf bust, and it had it was a beautiful paint job, but the thing that sticks in my mind was it had saliva dripping off of the fangs, and it was like mid-draw.
Yeah,
did it with transparent resin. So you know what I'm talking about, but I'm like, man, I put some cars down on the table, and I went and spent most of my day looking at other models and stuff, and man, the tips and tricks you can learn from other genres is
absolutely.
You know what they're using for that is probably this stuff right here.
An armpit?
No, yeah,
sorry.
yeah. This gore stuff, they paint it like it's.
Really?
It's really stringy, like this one here.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That says snot. It says snot.
It says snot on it.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd you get that?
He made it himself.
I think I ordered it online, and I was going to use it on some of my Warhammer stuff. So,
because there's something I want.
I bottled it myself.
Yeah. Remember last week when Chuck was stuffing up?
Oh, don't go there, please. No, I want to try that stuff out because there's something I want to do. There's a figure I've been wanting to do that I would need something like that.
It's really cool. A friend that turned me on to it was Brock, the welder at my work.
Oh yeah, I know Brock.
You guys have met him, the 10-foot tall welder.
Oh, yeah, Brock. Yeah.
Drunk?
Yeah. He's the one that welds everything up high and you do everything down low.
Yes. That's exactly. That's what people say too. That's funny. Yeah, he put it on a Tyranid, and it looked awesome. And I was like, dude, what is that? And he goes, oh, it's this stuff. And I went and bought some. So
what did he put it on?
A Tyranid, a Warhammer Tyranid.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Got
Where do you get that, Chuck?
I just looked it up online. And,
Okay.
and,
What's the name of the company?
I don't even know, dude. It just says
Look at the bottle. Sir.
I am looking at it.
Give all
It
information.
Says Dirty Down Gore.
Okay. I only ask because I know a figure
Yeah.
painter who would find a very
Hmm.
multiple uses for
I would-
snot and gore.
This one
I
says
just-
Dirty Down Snot. The company's probably Dirty Down.
I would
Makes
say
sense.
it's probably Dirty Down.
Yeah.
I just want a bottle on my desk that just says snot on it.
I am going to get some of that.
I'll tell you what, Brian, I'll send you one.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. I can't wait to open that. Okay. So, our second email is from. Let me just preface this by saying this: we do have an email special coming up soon. So if you don't hear your email today, it will be included in that. I have a stack. A stick is a phone book, if you know what that is. But
And this time, only Jason will be on.
and just
Just
Jason,
me. Just
he will-
me.
he will read them and respond to them. So then we're all even. Okay, so this is from JC, and subject is new listener. And he says, "Hey guys, I'm 58 and just recently started modeling. Went through several years of leukemia and was out of work for 2 years. So when I felt okay, I picked up a model car kit and enjoyed it. I'm in remission now since June of 21. I recently discovered podcasts and came across yours and loving it. The way you all interact with each other is great, and you all inspire me to be a better modeler. And it's the little comments that remind me to just have fun and enjoy the hobby. I'm a truck driver, so I'm listening every day and went back to listen to the from episode 1. Jason, I gave you guys 5 stars rating, and Chuck, no hate mail from me. Also, I subscribe to all of your YouTube channels. I like all of your genres, whether it be cars, figures, or tanks. Currently working on a 68 Dodge Dart. So that's awesome, JC. Thank you for
nice.
letting us know.
Nice.
Glad to hear you're in remission and that you picked up a model kit and picked up that hobby, because there's never enough guys in this, I swear.
I got to tell you, man, I'm sorry, Justin, but that is my favorite email we've ever gotten.
One from JC?
Yeah, definitely not Justin's.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. I tell you what, let's take a quick break here from B. Jeevis and Butthead, and then we'll be back in just a second. Oh, man. This looks terrible. Oh, what's wrong, Beavis? The engine in my model car kit sucks. It sucks. Look at this. Maybe you should try IcemanCollections.com. He has all sorts of stuff for model cars and junk. They're all 3D printed parts. Oh, really? Do tell. Yeah, here, check it out. Oh, hello, I am Carl. You have 3D parts for my model car? Shut up, Beavis. Yeah, okay, I'm going to order some stuff right now.
Hello, yes, I'd like to order a number 2, supersized with cheese, please.
Okay. Like drive-through. Maybe we should get back to work. He said number 2. Shut up! I'm trying to elevate my next build with Iceman Collections. IcemanCollections.com, the home of hundreds of model car parts that you need to elevate your build. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for sticking around for that nice little commercial spot for our good friend, Mr. Iceman Collections. We're always happy that he's a good sport about that kind of thing. So otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it. So Thank you very much, Joel. And now it's time for our guest spotlight. We're going to be talking to Art about the show that you have going on and a little bit about yourself as well. So hopefully you don't mind sharing a few things like, shoe size, stuff like that.
Sure.
But first of all, how did you get into aftermarket model car parts?
I kind of have Matt to blame for that, to be honest with you, in a sense. Because one of the very first car show I went to, model car show, was down in San Diego. It was the Lower Left Coast NNL, and Matt was there selling stuff.
Really?
And he had like some ProTech stuff on his rack. And so I bought a couple of things, threw them in my stash that I had just started. You know, I was barely, less than a year into modeling at that time. I didn't even have any models at that show. I just went to see what a model car contest was all about. And so I got into it, and I'm doing it a couple of years, and I realized, well, nobody has that stuff out here anymore. Why is that? If you wanted to order,
blew it.
If you wanted to order ProTech stuff, you had to order it off their website, and it was kind of a cumbersome process. You had to print the form and mail it in with a check, and when the check clears, the parts will ship on the day he ships, and it just took a while. So just out of the blue, I called up ProTech Charlie, and just started talking to him, and I said, "Do you have a dealer program or anything like that?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, actually I do, and so I don't know, that just kind of got me started. I started with ProTech and ProTech only, and that's kind of how it began, and it's been about 11 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I look at art and see what I could have been, and
yeah.
I just can't get over the fact that you were at a show, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh man, those were the days. It was Frank and I rolled down there.
Yeah, that was my first show I ever saw.
So ProTech was your foot in the door for that, and then you just sort of picked up other bits here and there. Did you produce anything yourself?
The only thing I produce myself is the dead center.
Oh gosh,
the drill starter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of source that and then put them together in a little package, and do all that on my own. But everything else pretty much are dealers. I'm a dealer for Detail Master and a little bit of splash paint, and then some Top Studios, kind of my best seller. But I'm not sure what's going to happen now with the trade issues. But I have a good quantity of that for a little while. But
good.
So yeah, it's been fun to expand, but it's just kind of a little sideline hobby.
Right on. And how many shows do you usually get to as a vendor a year?
I was doing like up to 8 a year, because you could hit the IPMS shows. I'd go to Arizona, I'd go to GSL, NNL West, and then we had several in California. But I kind of tapered off a little bit just because I've kind of been doing some other things lately. So the shows have kind of taken a back seat for a little while, but
I get it. After 11 years,
still hitting 4 to 5 a year.
Okay, good. So I'd imagine after 11 years, that's a lot of shows.
Yeah, it can be for sure. Yeah.
Right. And I remember this last show, we were talking about you coming over to hanging out with us at our meeting, but you were like, "We're just too wiped, man." So
yeah, I would love to come by, but we were up at 5 a.m. and only had 4 hours of sleep the night before, so it was a long day.
Yeah, we're not young anymore, are we?
Can't say we are. Different,
but we're dumb enough to give it a try. So awesome. Let's see here. So you're going to be hosting the SoCal Open, right?
Yep.
And where's that going to be held at?
So it's at the Rancho San Antonio Boys Home. It's in Chatsworth, California.
Okay.
And the venue is a boys' home where I'm not sure how to describe it, but I think they kind of take in kids who've kind of gotten in trouble or don't have any place to go. Instead of going to juvie or something, they get to go to the home and kind of be rehabilitated and taken care of, and learn some discipline and stuff like that. And so, but it's a really neat campus that they have, and they have a full-size car show there once a year. Classic Chevy's car show. And it's out in the football field. It's a huge car show, and then we get to use the gymnasium of the facility at the same time. So works out really good. And so they provide the venue for free, and then we just make a donation. So all the proceeds from the show go back to the boys' home.
Oh, nice. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the deal with the proceeds. That is awesome.
It's really cool. And what's really cool too is I've almost every year I've had somebody at the show come up to me and tell me personally how that place, the boys' home, changed their life because they used to go there.
Oh wow! Okay, that's awesome.
So
wow,
when that happens and somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, this is so cool," I went here, it changed my life, turned me around. It's like, okay, it's worth it. Even though I'm dead tired and I want to go home, it was still worth the effort.
That's awesome. And how did you get hooked up with the boys' home?
Well, actually, the show started. Shoot, this is I can't even imagine how many it's been now. I sort of stopped counting, but it started years ago by the model car guys, the same guys that are doing the Spirit of Speed show.
Oh wow!
Really started this show years ago and called it the SoCal NNL. And then it kind of became Chris Hale's show. He did it by himself for the most part for many years. And Chris ended up, kind of having some health problems. He moved out to Laughlin. And Chris actually got me involved in doing a small show at the LA Roadster show at the Pomona Fairplex. And so I was just doing that and kind of getting my feet wet on the shows and stuff. And when he decided he didn't want to do the SoCal anymore, he gave me a call and asked me if I'd be willing to do it. And so I just went for it. I didn't want to see it go away because he was going to just either give it to me or kill it. So,
right. Well, I'm glad you took over and kept it going. I was secretly hoping that could happen with NNL West also. Not necessarily you, but somebody else stepping up and able. But
it's always a bummer when a show is kind of like whoever's putting on just kind of wants to stop doing it, but then they don't hand it over to somebody. They don't want someone else to take it over. They just want to end the show, and it's great that Chris did that.
Yeah.
And you hand it over to someone who was going to continue on. Of course, look what you've turned it into. I wish more shows would do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've tried to grow it and improve it each year, and see what we can do. And it seems to be working, that we sell out all our vendor tables, every year, and we get lots of people showing up. So
that's perfect.
I've been happy with it.
Now you said this was an NNL style originally, and has that format changed recently?
Yeah, so last year was the first year we decided to stop doing the NNL format and change it over to a judge show. And even a couple years before that, I changed the name because it was called the SoCal NNL. Okay. And I don't know if you guys are familiar, but we gave away a few awards. We had some People's Choice Awards and some picks and stuff like that. And the NNL stalwarts really don't like having any awards at an NNL. That's kind of the thing. So instead of kind of addressing that controversy, I just decided to change the name. It's no longer an NNL. Still a non-competitive show, but change the name. And I kind of did it in mind of turning it into a judge show at some point in time.
All right.
But it just takes a little more effort to do a judge show than it does the other style, because you have to have a team of judges. You have to have 3 times the amount of awards pretty much. And so I kind of waited till I was ready to make that leap.
Right. So there's an extra cost and manpower included in the judge show. I know that from my IPMS judging stuff, and it's like being part of the committee. They're like, "Oh, these awards cost this much." Holy smokes,
Yeah.
So because they're like, "Okay, let's grow the categories." Okay, great. Well, we might have to get rid of one then, because we only have a budget for this. So it's amazing, and of course, nothing's cheap these days. So, how did it go with the judge? I wasn't able to attend last year's show, so how did it go with the first time judging?
I think it went great, actually. I think to everybody that was there, it went really smooth. Everything went well. Behind the scenes, I was in a panic, of course, about 8 times during the show, but I think by appearances, it went really well, and everybody seemed to have a good time. With any event like that, you get some complaints, and I didn't see any on the judge show. But with the NNL, with the other style, the People's Choice and everything, I was getting a lot of complaints about, why did that win? People don't understand it's a popularity contest in that event,
Right.
But here it's supposed to be based on merit, of the model, and that's usually how it ended up.
Right on. That's awesome. You guys have any quick questions you want to ask Art about the judging or anything like that?
Yeah. No, actually, I had a chance to be one of the judges up there, so it was kind of cool.
Oh,
right
you
on.
judged? Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that answers my question. Where
I can't hear. What do you say?
I said, would you like to do it again?
Yeah, I'll help you again.
All right, I'll put you down on the list then. That'd be awesome. And Matt,
Brian too is going to be there.
yeah, I'd love to have you as a judge too, Brian. I do have slots to fill if you'd be up for it.
I can't. I'm busy. No, I'm kidding. I would love to. I would love to. Thank you for asking me out of the blue.
It's actually a really smooth process. It was really, really smooth. It went really well.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm looking forward to it. I actually was
if I can make it out.
I hope you can make it, man.
If I can, and I will definitely jump in for the judging, dude. Anything to help you out.
Right.
I wanted to help you out more this year, but I just couldn't.
Yeah. We're actually, some of us are sponsoring awards for the show.
Yeah.
You know, like me and Chuck are for sure.
Yes.
I don't remember if Jason was able to or not.
I don't think I was actually, I haven't, but I don't remember if I was afforded the ability to. This is the first I'm hearing of it. So
sorry.
Okay.
To be honest, Jason, I'm obviously we're in different circles because I'm out here and you're out there, and I'm familiar with you as much. But I would love to have you sponsor a category. I still have a couple of days to nail that down if you'd be interested.
I would absolutely be willing to sponsor a category, and we can actually work that out if you'd like to after we record.
You heard him. You heard him here.
There it is.
$3,000 a category.
This is why I always drop quite a few dollars at Art's table, because he's just a great salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But
remember the IPMS Nationals up in Vegas where you were talking about these little guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
My heart pitter patters.
I did the whole sales pitch, and so I went home and did a video and just said word for word what he had done. He was like, "You're a tape recorder."
He did. He did the pitch exactly how I did it at the show. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
And you get one of them little dainty bags.
Yeah. I had those for a little while.
Man.
That's when I first got to know Art. Was the dainty bag story.
I got to tell you that story. So I'm at one of the DSC editions one time. I'm vending. I don't know Chuck from anybody. He just looks
didn't I have long hair? Like
you had long hair. You had a Harley Davidson on.
Yeah.
You know, your tattoos. You look kind of like a biker dude. And you come up and you're buying some stuff. And I go, "Do you want a bag?" I go, "Yeah." Well, my wife had given me these little yellow bags to put stuff in. So I had it. He goes, "Thank you."
Fold into it with 2 fingers
with your pinky up like that.
Yeah. That's exactly awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then you're like, "I got to know this guy. He's cool." So you knew Chuck pre-bald. That's cool.
Yeah.
I knew bald.
Yeah.
Not me. I was bald, but he wasn't.
That's because
it was pre-bald and post face into trunk lid.
Yeah. But for Art, that's a racing thing for you, right?
It is. Yeah. It's
aerodynamic.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the swimmers and stuff, you know. Speaking of racing, you're talking about the hobby of karting, and you're still active in that today, right?
Yeah, I kind of picked that up again in 2021, sort of by accident. And that's kind of why some of the model car stuff has kind of taken a little bit of a backseat, because I ended up being able to race some dirt karts out here in California. And then after a couple of years, I actually got involved in running the kart club. We had sort of a turnover and a new track to go to. So I've been working hard on that the last couple of years. So it's kind of consuming a lot of what would be my build time.
Yeah.
Having a great time with it. I'm trying to do it as long as I'm physically able, you know.
That's a great point, because, you know, we all hit that limitation sometimes. So as long as your hands and your eyes still work, you can always go back to the bench and do some modeling whenever.
Yeah, that's kind of my line of thinking there. It's like I'll have plenty of time to do modeling, hopefully.
Yeah.
But the karting thing might not last that long, so.
Exactly. Well, but you're having fun though, right?
Yeah, having a blast. Yeah, and being somewhat successful. I mean, I ran 7 races last year and won 2 of them, so I was.
Oh, nice! That's a good stat.
Second in the championship. So.
Sweet. How many guys are usually on a track in any given race?
Well, it depends. You know, and that's part of the thing that's been fun is we've been growing the kart club last couple of years. We got a new track last year, and so we were getting somewhere around 12 to 14 carts on a good day in my class, and they have several classes. And
okay.
And the year before that, at the other track, we were getting 4 to 5 at best. That was a good day. So it's really grown. And then this year we had the first race, and we had 17 in my class. And
oh wow!
So it's continuing to grow. So
was it bumper to bumper around the whole track then? Just like a train.
Yeah. It's almost a few too many to put out there, but we didn't really want to send anybody home, because you can run about 12 to 14 is okay. 17's pushing it, but
What's a nice cart cost around?
Well, I'll tell you, that's the beauty of what I'm doing in the dirt is it's the most inexpensive form of go-karting you can do because it's on the dirt. You can get a cart that's, obsolete. You can get a pavement cart that's, after a couple of years, they're no good on the pavement anymore. So they got to get a new one. So you can find these used pavement carts that you can convert to dirt for, $1,000.
Wow.
There. So
there's one of those tracks just north of me, Chuck. Adobe Mountain.
Yeah,
I think it's a dirt. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like it's Highway 51.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to why an asphalt cart would get worn out so fast.
Well, because it's where the money is in go-karting to start with. So if you want to be competitive, you got to have the latest stuff. And
gotcha.
And in that type of karting, a tenth of a second, you can get that just by buying a new car.
Dang. All right.
But in the dirt, it evens everything out. And the kart I'm racing is a 2012 model. And there are guys running 40-year-old go-karts out there that are winning.
Wow.
So
really?
Yeah. So it's
okay.
And you can buy, like the class I run is called a Yamaha KT100 class. And that engine was introduced over 50 years ago. In the mid 70s. So, and you can buy them for $500 online all day long and, get them rebuilt and be a racetrack. So the costs are just so much different. The tires on the you can get a season pretty much out of a set of tires where on the pavement, it's one race. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah. I did not need to hear this information, Art. Thanks a lot.
I think I just picked up a new hobby.
I got a dirt track, a little dirt track for karting and the micro whatever the micro midgets and all that, and the kids and all that.
Yeah,
right up the road from me.
My whole takeaway on that was the engine in his cart is about as old as I am.
So
I'm like, oh.
what does a new one cost like for pavement?
Oh, like $6,000 to $7,000.
That still is reasonable.
The whole thing. Yeah. It's still the best form of racing, no matter whether you're on dirt or pavement. But karting's the best, cheapest form of racing. But dirt karting is the cheapest form of karting, So, but you can spend $7,000. You can easily do that. There's classes where the carts can cost more, but I'm a more economical class. But
that's
pretty
cool.
To check out a race because that just sounds like
we should all go up there. I've been wanting to take Felix up there to see, and I want a race car.
So we got a website. It's called SoCalDirtCarters.com, and we're on Facebook too, SoCal Dirt Carters. And so if anybody's interested in seeing what that's all about, you can find it.
Right on. Thank you very much.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, of course. Well, we're interested in all the hobbies that have things to do with wheels. So,
Yes, exactly.
Now, I'm wondering if you'd be willing to share the story of how Lisa became the best wife ever.
Oh, sure.
And that was the NNL East trip, right?
Yeah, I'll share that story. It's fun. So when I first got back into modeling, I was trying to find all the resources I could, to be good at it, when I decided I was actually racing go-karts just before I got into models, and it just was getting too expensive. I was doing pavement stuff, and I said, nah, I'm not going to do that anymore. But I need a hobby. So I had seen Clay Kemp's work online, and it blew me away a couple of years earlier. And I said, well, I'd like to do that. Finally, I just said, I'm going to do that. I bought all these tools, built a spray booth, and I bought a DVD of Don Yost, his airbrushing DVD. And I watched it, and I would watch it over and over in the living room on our big 65-inch Mitsubishi TV. So the whole family had to watch it while I was watching it. And so cue up a few years later, probably like 2015. Yeah, quite a few years later, maybe 10 years later, a little less. Lisa wanted to get me a Christmas present. And she remembered Don Yost from the video that she was pounded into her brain every day. So she looks him up online and sends him a note. And she says, yeah, my husband, Art Laski, he's a fan of yours. And I was seeing if you had any merchandise. Are you going to be at any shows around here? And he writes back, and I'd been doing models a few years. He writes back and goes, I'm well aware of who your husband is, my dear. And he goes, I don't go to any shows in California, but we go to NNL East. And so he was telling her about it. He says, you should come out here. So behind my back, she conspired with Don for us to go out there in 2015. And so he pointed them to the organizers of the show, and Tom Geiger and them. So they knew we were coming, and it was right up until a couple weeks before we needed to go that she finally told me that that's what we were going to do. That was my Christmas present, to go to NNL East. So of course that was in December, and then come, April when the show was, we go out there, and so they decided to give her an award as the coolest wife award for a Christmas present better than socks.
Oh, that's awesome. Better than socks.
Yeah. So
yeah, you're a lucky man, sir.
I appreciate that.
I got to go. I got to go because it coincided with a work trip. So I was like, yeah, all right, I'll take that.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was cool to hang out with Don Yost back there and get to know him too, and some of the other folks back there. I'd been to the GSL a couple times, so I knew some people back there by that time.
Good.
And it was really fun. We had a great time.
And when Don Yost says he's aware of you, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I had no idea really, because I'm in my vacuum out here in California. But I had to ask him a few questions along the way as I was getting started, after watching his DVDs and stuff. But and I swear by those DVDs. Watching somebody paint when you haven't done it before is pretty awesome to speed up your learning curve.
That's a good point. You can read all about it. You can read pages and pages and pages on how to do it, but until you see somebody, their technique, everybody says, "Oh, it's the consistency of 2% milk," and I'm like, I haven't had milk in like 10 years, so I'm like, what does that look like again?
Yeah. And he promises having show quality finishes, and I have to say, I was winning some awards right out of the gate after using his process. And even though I don't do a whole lot of enamel, bodies or anything like that anymore, it was a good jumping off point, it was always something I could always go back to if I was failing with another paint type or something. So
good point. I started with the Testors enamels and was struggling didn't realize you need to use some sort of hardening agent in that to help it out, Yeah. It's like, oh, now I know, 10 years later. Okay, thanks. But I love talking to Lisa too at the show. She's a real
funny.
Yeah, she's a spark plug. And it was kind of funny how you guys were back to back with Iceman. So
yeah, right.
Her and my wife get along pretty good. Susan.
That's glad to hear that.
Yeah.
But when we're in Vegas, you guys are usually like pretty swamped or powered down for the evening by the time dinner time rolls around. So I usually just get a chance to hang out with Art. Chuck and them are at one end of the table, and me and Art at the quiet end of the table. All right, man. So this is going to be the point where we, the four of us, get to ask you our favorite questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, cool.
This is going to hurt.
Let's start. Let's start with Chuck this time.
Well, my question is, do you have, I ask everybody this question, do you have a classic car or have you ever had one that you miss? Like maybe a favorite today?
An actual driver?
Yes.
Chuck, my dad was an engine builder when I was growing up. And my friends would come to him and get their like El Camino engines built and stuff. and I drove a Chevette. It's kind of like
Okay, next question.
No,
Was it pro streeted?
no. But at the college parties, I would just tell girls I drove a vet. I didn't have to tell them what kind.
There you go.
Oh, that's awesome. I had, when I was in college, I had a Corvair, and people heard the Corv part, but not the air part, so they thought I had a Corvette. I'm like, look at me. Do you think I fit in a Corvette? Come on. I look like an Ed Roth cartoon.
I can't believe you fit in a Corvair.
Well, I had special tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had no qualms hacking up a Corvair to fit in. I had problems with doing it to a Corvette.
Yeah.
So a Chevette. Anything else in the arsenal?
Man, not much. I think at one point my dad had a Ford F-250 dually that he towed his race cars with, and I had a little Toyota pickup, and for some reason he wanted to trade, so I traded and drove this nice dually for a little while. But
nice.
Then it came time to put 6 tires on it. I said, "Yeah, I don't think I need to drive this anymore."
That's a good point.
Wow, never thought of that.
Go for the super singles. Just go for the super singles.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason, how about you with your question?
Okay. Again, a question that I ask everybody that we have on the show. Okay, setting. The zombie apocalypse is upon us. The whole world is burning down around you, and you've already gotten your family to safety. You have just enough time before the horde of zombies show up on your front door to run back in the house and grab one unbuilt model kit from your stash. What are you going after?
That's a good question. An unbuilt model, huh? Yeah.
Told you.
I got a few that I would definitely grab, but man, that's a tough one. I think I would grab my Eldon Pink Panther show car because they're so hard to find.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just picked one of them up.
Yep.
And if I couldn't find that one, I've got a Jawa Speedway bike that the Protar Speedway bike that that's just as precious to me. So it would be a toss up.
Nice.
Okay.
I like it.
I'd have to give them both to him,
You know what? It depends on the size of the box, proximity to each other in the stash. But I'd give them both.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got 2 hands. He's good.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
I gotta say, he's probably answered out of all the guests. He's probably answered this the most smoothly and confidently.
Yeah, really.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Smoothly and confidently. Wow, Chuck, that was impressive.
It's like I said, great salesman.
Nice.
And now for Matt. Do you remember what your question is?
I think I do.
Okay.
Finally. All right.
It's got it tattooed on his palm now.
Do you do not have in your stash yet, is there that elusive holy grail kit that you would just love to get, whether you do want to build it or it's just something that means so much to you and you want to put it up on the shelf and just have spotlights on it? It's just the kit, since you've been into modeling, that you've been just lusting after.
Yes. But it wouldn't really come in a nice box. It would be like a resin Indy car. It would be probably the 1982 Gallus Eagle, the Coors Light Eagle that Al Unser Jr. drove. It's a Lance Sellers kit, and I don't have one, and I'd love to have one.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Who was the maker of that kit?
I think it was Lance Sellers.
Lance. Oh, yes, that's right.
Lance Sellers. I'm not familiar with that brand, but I do know the car you're talking about. So when I was a kid, back in the day, we were allowed to stay up because we would listen to the race on the radio, Sunday morning, and then being out in California, and then in like 11 o'clock at night after the news, they would broadcast the race.
Yeah.
So you already know who won, but we got to stay up late to watch the race. So my sister would just be like, I don't want to watch the race. My dad's like, if you stay up late, you're watching the race. You know?
One TV, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember that. I remember that car.
Yeah.
Good choice. All right.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
now it's my turn.
It is. It's your turn.
Yay!
Yay. So now
Yay.
my question is a little more ethereal, and that's in the world of TV and movie cars,
Yes.
you know, Knight Rider, that kind of thing. What vehicle would you want to have as your daily driver parked in your driveway right now?
Daily driver, huh?
Yeah. You would be proud to drive to Safeway, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's a tough one because I don't really have a favorite, you know?
No.
I built a Speed Racer Mach 5 a few years ago.
I remember that one. That was cool.
And so maybe the Mach 5, but you get a lot of attention at the grocery store.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you forget to put the saws away underneath the nose.
Right? Yeah. But you could get a good parking spot that way.
Like, as long as Spraddle and Chim Chims are hiding in the trunk.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm old.
Y'all are, 'cause I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So awesome, man. Well, well answered. Anybody else have any quick questions for Art?
Wow, crickets, man. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Man.
He answers the questions too well.
Yeah,
I know.
It's like
You are efficient and to the point. I like that. I do
Yeah.
have a question.
Yeah.
For your show that's coming up, what's the entry fee?
So the entry fee is $15 if
Okay.
you enter online. You can enter up to 15 models. It's $20 at the door.
Oh, so there's a break by doing it online.
Yeah, $5
Okay.
break doing it online. It helps us get prepared, you know. And then if you do it online, basically what happens is you're filling out all the information on your model, including all the description and everything. And when you show up, I just hand you a piece of paper with everything you wrote about your model, and you just slip it under. So you don't have to fill out a form, you know, at the show. It's all done ahead of time.
So you print that for us.
Yep. I print that for you.
Oh, I
And it's in
freaking love that.
It's all together when you show up. You say, yeah, I pre-entered. What's your name? Lisa hands you your whole pack, and off you go.
nice.
So no waiting, you know.
That's interesting, and so that brings me to a question then, and maybe well, Chuck, VG, you've been to the show. Well, Chuck, you were at the show since it's
It's an awesome car show too. One car show.
The thing about it is, like, how smooth does the judging go since you were involved in the judging because of that, and people getting in there and registered, and at the end of the day, and it, you know, getting it all finalized. It ended when it's supposed to end it and all that stuff.
One of the smoothest shows I think we've been to. I'm just saying. Okay, so I got to ask you, Art. So how long have you been doing this? You got experience doing this?
Well, I started doing the LA Roadster show in 2016.
Okay.
And then I did that a few years to 2018, and then they decided to move everything outside, and so then it was too hot for models. So and so then I think at 2018 I also started with the SoCal at that time.
So you've been doing model car events for like 9 years, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. This will be 9. This will be 9. And you know, one of the things just about the judging, you know, I was at the DSC and I was watching the judges, and you know, they would have like 3 guys go to a model, and you know, they're all going together, right? And I think it takes them a long time because there's all this banter, and they're talking about what they like and don't like, and who's in 6th place and that sort of thing.
I love it.
And so it takes them a long time to get through. But what we did last year is I had judges that had cars in different classes, so I couldn't pair up judges to go do that because like Chuck might have a model in one of the classes, you know. So I had to sort of stagger the judges that way. And so I sent them all off independently with a sheet to go pick their best in a class, and then hand me the sheets, the winners. So I'd have 2 guys per class, right? And if they did not agree on who the winners was, then I would send them together, to sort it out. But 8 out of 10 times they agreed on what it was, and they didn't talk about it for 15 minutes to get to that point.
Yeah, see, it's that efficiency that you think experience, lots and lots of something like 18 years experience, you'd be able to get that down, but you got it down in a lot less time, and BG even lesser, because BG rocks at getting the judging handled, man.
I have to say, most of the people that were picked to be judges were pretty. A lot of them really knew what they were talking about.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
At art show, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I handed all the judges a sheet of what the criteria kind of should be to look for, and I got it directly from Mark Jones's show at Cruising for a Cure. Every time I've been to that show, it's been critically judged according to the criteria that I sort of agree with, in terms of what a model car show winner should be.
Yeah,
and
I like that. That's awesome.
So I stole that and gave it to the judges just to kind of have them read, and have them kind of use that as a guideline of what to look for.
It's super interesting. Yeah, that's it can be done efficiently.
Excuse me. Sorry. That airplane biscuit's coming back on me.
Oh, those airplane biscuits.
Oh, those airplane biscuits. So you said $15 is the entry fee, and that's unlimited models, right?
No, it's not anymore. I'm limiting it to 15 just because we only have so much table space and we keep growing. So some guys will want to bring 20, and I don't have the space, is really what it comes down to.
Okay.
And
so what's
my pre-entry system only goes up to 15. So some guys try and manipulate that to get 20 models in there, and it just makes a mess when I try and print it.
I could well imagine. Is it complicated to set up an online registration system where you end up printing out everything for them for the entrance?
Yeah, I mean, it took a little bit of work. I have an IT background, so basically what I did is I created a Google form on my website where everything gets filled out, and then that gets dumped into a spreadsheet. And then I take that spreadsheet and I have an access database, and I just pull it in, and it creates the forms and manipulates the data, and I can print it all out from there. So it took a little bit of doing to get it going, but it seems to work okay.
Yeah, you make it sound easy, but in my head I'm still thinking bibbity bobbity boo. It's a show.
Not easy, I have to admit, it's not easy. But
I suspect not. No, I wish more people would start switching to something like that for the online registration thing, because
definitely.
Acme was doing it that way. And I think they've been doing it for a couple of years now, but traveling all the way to Acme.
Oh, Acme. Okay.
They have their own flavor of it. They're not doing exactly the way you're doing it, but traveling all the way across the country with models and all the things that go along with traveling. Last thing I need to worry about is, did I bring my form?
Yeah.
Did I bring my paperwork? Do I have to stand here and fill this out while I'm standing in line talking to dozens and dozens of people? And at the Desert Scale Classic, I was standing in line waiting to register my stuff, and I had the little slips, and I thought, okay, well, I'm talking to everybody who's walking by or standing next to me in line and stuff, and I find myself going, Chevy model, I had lines and lines and lines to fill out, and I put Ravel Curtis Midget 125th, and I thought, I'll fill these out later. Never did.
Never did. Same thing. I did the same thing.
So, see, owner, here's my phone number,
Right.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, because I do like the ability to sit down and type out, think about, because I do have note cards on what I've Jason's good friend Tim Ryan put me onto this, where you fill out 3x5 cards whenever you build a model and finish it, especially now that we're on in years, because I don't remember what I did 6 months ago on this particular build, or I'm pulling something out of the case. Like if I go to your show, I might pull something out of the case I haven't shown in a while. See how it does, type of thing. I'm like, I think I used paint and some Iceman glue. And
Nice.
Not all of us are fortunate enough to have Iceman glue. So,
here's an off-topic question. If you have Iceman glue, you're getting eye glue. Is it egg glue?
An eye glue.
Igloo.
Oh, you got the.
I got
you
one too.
Iceman Ice. I
I
want.
got the Iceman Ice.
I want
Um,
Iceman Ice.
Yeah.
Mine's
Oh,
big- mine's
sure.
bigger.
Yours is bigger.
Well, I am
Right.
BG. So
Yes, fair enough.
there we go. So yeah, me and Chuck are looking forward to showing up at your show and throwing down some poker chips on the table for some folks.
Oh yeah.
Sounds great.
What is the date again?
Sunday, May 4th. Be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
May the
Dang.
4th be with you.
Where's my lightsaber?
Nice.
Here's my lightsaber. There it is.
There you go.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so be sure if you're coming to use the online system, get your models all entered in there.
Yeah.
And there's what's the website for that?
It's SoCalOpen.org.
Nice.
There
Thank
you
you.
right
go.
to it.
Perfect. SoCalOpen.org. I've got the email sitting in my phone email thingy here, so I gotta get on there and do the tippy typey thing. But I wanted to wait for my IT representative to get back from Kentucky because there's other things going on with the computer right now. All she has to do is touch one button and it fixes everything. But I don't seem to know which button that is.
Send her over to my house then.
No, see, my IT person doesn't just be. She sits down and spends 45 minutes saying stuff like, "How the heck did you pull that off? Where did that come from? Why are so many of these open?"
Yeah, she could go over to Matt's house and just put gasoline on it.
Might as well.
Art dropped the Star Wars reference, and I'm going to drop another Star Wars reference. I've been to Matt's house, and his computer looks like it should be on a Jawa sandcrawler.
Oh, definitely. It sounds like it does too.
Yeah. So,
I
yeah.
got a perfectly good new one right here.
As he drops it.
Jawa sandcrawler? Okay, cool. Well, Art, we want to say thank you very much for hanging out with us today and talking about your show. I really appreciate that immensely.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
hopefully this hasn't scared you off and you want to come back again sometime in the future.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Dude, yes.
If you guys don't mind, I'd just like to plug my sponsors a little bit for the show.
Yes,
Absolutely.
please do. Please
So,
do.
Right ahead,
I'll
buddy.
just run off. We got Chris Sobak, Dedicated Magazine, Juan for You, Iceman Collections, Vision 124. George is coming out from New Jersey, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Scale Riders, San Diego Model Car Club, Temecula Valley Model Club, Grex is a sponsor, Chuck's Hoppy Spot, BG, Auto Modeler Magazine, Desert Scale Classic is sponsoring an award, Masterpieces, and then we have some individuals, Rusty Price, David Dale, Bob Romero, John and Jamie Teresi, and I think we're even going to have some other stuff from Model Cars Magazine. So
Right on.
Nice.
appreciate all the support.
And soon to be Blue
Excellent.
Ox, right?
Yes. Yes.
Soon
Soon
to
to be Blue
soon to
Ox.
be
Like
Blue Ox.
within minutes, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Ah, good deal.
Sounds
Just
great.
sell him some money real quick. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. You got some good sponsors lined up.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and they've been supporting us for years. So I forgot the biggest one, Tamiya.
Holy
Nice.
cow.
And of course, I can't forget my own store, scaleproshop.com. I'm also sponsoring the show. So
Yeah, you
Yeah.
haven't even mentioned your online business here, bud.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
to give that a quick plug?
sure, yeah. So scaleproshop.com. We've got ProTech, Detail Master, top studio items out there, a little bit of splash paint, dead centers.
Dead centers.
Gotta love
I did
those.
video on that.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
my favorite tool that's always right to the right there. You see it on all my videos. That tack life.
The Tack Life is awesome, but I'm
Love it.
completely sold out of them right now. I had those since 2021, and I had a big stash, and I finally just at the last show.
Oh, really? That
Out West
no, but you're always
ran out of
selling,
inventory.
you're always
Yeah.
selling the heck out of them.
I thought
What
I
I
was
meant
helping
by
you out
that.
on that. Dang. Yeah, I totally thought I was helping you out on that. I'm sorry.
Well, you were, but
I'll do better next time. But yeah, 2021, that's vintage now, right? It's a vintage
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah. So I'm gonna explore some other options too before I
Okay.
order more of those to see if there's a better
Yeah.
unit out there, since
Right.
technology's advanced a little bit in 3 years, 4 years now.
Well, I
Oh well, you let me know.
I use mine
I
a
would- I
lot.
definitely-
I use mine a lot, and it's really awesome because I don't have to actually charge it that much.
No.
I have the Tact Life one, but I just bought that Display one. Have you seen that one yet?
No, we don't sell those, Chuck.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm saying that you're looking for another option. So I mean,
No, I'll look into them. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Jeez, Chuck.
No, I mean, he said he was looking for another option.
That's cool. That's cool.
Offline.
Jeez, Chuck.
Okay.
They're all great products.
Yes, they are.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Even if he's out of them, they're still great products.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I think that's going to bring that to a close. Unless you guys have anything else you want to bring up
I
real
think
quick.
that's on air. I think that's all.
Off air, there's a lot more to talk about. We didn't get a chance to talk about our shows very much, Jason.
No,
You
we
and I.
didn't. But that's a good sign. That means the conversation was good. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we can definitely squeeze in a couple of minutes if you wanted to talk about our shows.
I think we should, because the funny thing is, 4 of us in this podcast were at the same show. One of us wasn't.
Which one of these are not like the other?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So,
Well,
Jason,
what
why
the
don't you?
heck? I was gonna say, are you talking about me not being at your show? Because one of us was at the show and 3 of us weren't.
Yeah. I like those odds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you want me to go first real quick?
Yeah,
Go
why don't
ahead,
you go first real
man.
quick?
Talk about it.
Okay.
What kind of notes you got?
I jotted down a couple things just so I don't forget. So the first show I went to was Down East Con up in Sanford, Maine. That was an IPMS show hosted by the Southern Scale Modelers IPMS chapter. Great show, well organized. Everything went smooth. Awards were handed out quickly and smoothly. That is an IPMS chapter that has it down. The car categories combined were outnumbered the planes and the armor together.
Nice.
Awesome.
So
Nice.
this is my plea to any IPMS people out there. Start showing us car guys some love, because we're showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't always do that. IPMS
Sometimes
show.
we're like the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, it's like there's 73 categories for biplanes and 5 for cars, which I don't get.
Right.
It's just like, come on. And I did pretty good at that show. I brought home some awards, so that made me pretty happy.
Were they yours?
No, actually stole them from Tim.
Just wondering.
Yeah, he wasn't looking. I was like, into my pocket. So, then the very next weekend, I went to another IPMS show. That one was up in Vermont, though. Can-Am Con 25. That was hosted by the Mount Mansfield Scale Modelers, IPMS Champlain Valley. This was their second year back. COVID killed them.
Oh, no.
And it took them until 24 was their first year back. And this year went really well.
Oh, wait, you meant COVID killed the shows.
Killed the shows. Yeah.
Okay, you said COVID killed them. I'm like, the whole club.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, dude, Vermont, no masks.
Okay. The whole club.
No, sorry.
All right,
Anyway.
just clarifying. That's
Yeah,
all.
so this is their second year back. Unfortunately, attendance was a little bit low for the show because there was a freak mid-April snowstorm that barreled through New England just to the south of us. Like, it was 6 or 7 inches of snow, and nobody was prepared for it.
And that would block anybody coming up and out of Massachusetts.
Anybody
right?
coming up from the south. And so this show had a very prominent Canadian contingency that we don't have to talk about what's going on at the border right now. But basically there was 20 Canadians that showed up the first year and 2 that showed up this year. So
that's too bad.
yeah. So, but again, really good, well organized show. Judging went smoothly. The best part about this show was they had seminars, which was really cool. My friend Jody Doyle, he hosted a wet sanding and polishing seminar. There was a figure painting one. There was a what do IPMS judges look for seminar, which was very fascinating.
Oh, nice.
And then, of course, a weathering seminar. So we took advantage of all of them. They were half an hour apiece. So we, soaked up the time in the comfy office chairs and learned a lot, actually.
Good.
Yeah. Heather was there, and she was loving the figure painting seminar. She was like front row center right there as soon as the guy set up. So that was really good.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did the weathering seminar come after the wet sanding polishing seminar, just in case it doesn't go well?
Yeah, exactly. That was the last seminar.
That's how I would schedule it.
You
know me, I would have done it. So.
Oh yeah, it was really good. It was we spent the whole weekend in Vermont, so the show right in the middle of it, and it was really, really interesting. And going to that show and seeing, meeting these new people, I joined their Facebook page. I had like 6 or 7 of those guys friend request me on Facebook, and we've been communicating, and it's going to become a regular show for me, for sure. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Weather permitting.
Heather and I will spend the weekend there. So as long as we can get there, that'll be one of our little getaways. So.
I saw what you're saying, and heaven forbid you should get stuck there, right?
Oh yeah, the Von Trapp Family Lodge.
It says it right in the name.
The hills were filled with the sound of music. Yeah, it was a very good weekend. Very, very good. So
it's a Von Trapp.
Don't fall for it. It's a Von Trapp.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my show experience.
That sounded like it was a heck of a couple of weekends. I like that.
It was a very, very, like I said in the beginning of this podcast, I haven't had a chance to do anything because it was very busy.
Mm-hmm.
Very busy. I think I brought 7 models to Down East Con, and I brought 10 to Can-Am Con. So
nice. Yep. Did you get any hardware at the second one? I
did.
Right on. Congrats.
Yeah. I got a few. And the really cool part about that show is they handed out medallions.
Oh, challenge coins.
They're not challenge coins. They're like in a little case. It's like a medallion in a little case. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Our club used to do the challenge coins, but they didn't do it in a case. It was just like a vinyl sleeve or whatever. But it had a little card in there for the category that was for. And thank goodness they did that, because it's been like 10 years since I won one of those. And I'm like, what is it for? Oh, turn it over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. But I like those because you can display them in the model case with the model.
Well, that's what I did with mine. Justin Ryan, our friend that emailed us earlier, he kind of showed me a couple of companies that sell displays for those, but I think it's just as cool to just put it in the case with the model. That way, when I take it down, I can, look at that, it won a coin. So
I can tell you not to use double stick tape to try and stick it to the wall of the case, because it will fall off, and some of those can be hefty, and you lose a bumper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not good. Yeah,
right on. Well, thank you for the report. So for the rest of us, we all went to the same show, including Art, of course. And I'm looking for input on that from Art. What do you think?
Throw it on Art.
Take any hardware home?
Yeah, I only entered a few classes, and I got third in drag door slammer class.
Oh, right on.
Oh.
Yeah. Chuck has my trophy.
It's right here.
Wait, why does Chuck have your trophy?
Because
he won it for me personally.
They mixed him up, so I have his second place trophy sitting here at home. So we'll have to swap when he comes out. But
okay, I thought maybe you tackle him in the alley or something like that, and beat him with the trophy. Oh, that's cool. So third, because I know that category. That was a tough category.
It was, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And
Well,
the funny thing is,
congratulations.
I took a model that I took last time I was there a couple of years ago, and it didn't even place. And I was like a little surprised it didn't place
Are
last. So I
Are you
brought it
talking
back.
about the vet?
Yeah.
That thing's beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate it. But yeah, gave it another shot and came up with a little bit of glory.
I like that. That's one of my favorite builds that you did.
Is it? Yeah. Thank you.
That and that Speed Racer build you did. That
Yeah.
was pretty awesome too.
So that's kind of an interesting point then. Even though you took a model to a show a little while ago and it didn't place,
Yeah.
you took it back again, and this time it did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I did that actually this past weekend too. The Green Nova that I brought to every show last year, and I got ignored at every show. Took a first place at this one.
Well,
there you go.
You never know.
There's different different stuff on the table, so that's why it
Right.
changes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
So that just to talk to our friends, don't let it get discouraged if something doesn't place that year. Try it again next year. Add it to your wagon,
exactly.
your wagon of 31 model kits you might enter.
It's okay to bring a model to a show multiple times if it hasn't placed.
Exactly. Yep.
Exactly. I mean, it's allowed, so no problem.
It is.
I'm the guy that's like, well, I only bring the stuff I built recently. I don't bring anything older. I gotta get out of that. I gotta get out of that gutter.
I tried to do that too. The only reason, so I mentioned I brought 10 models to Vermont. That was because my friend was part of the club, and he's like, dude, it's been a slow couple of years. Bring everything. And I was like, okay, I'll bring a bunch of stuff. So I brought 10 just to kind of and I didn't need to. It was another show where the armor and the planes and the sci-fi stuff, it was all light. And it seemed like everybody that showed up at that show brought cars.
Okay.
So again, IPMS guys, stop ignoring us car guys, please.
Please.
And what about you, Matt? What was your thoughts on the show? Do you have any fun interactions with people?
Boy, did I have a lot of fun interactions with people. I was there longer than I planned on being there. And of course, my big thing was I was excited for Scott Comer from Auto Modeler Magazine, to hang out together, sit at his little area where he was talking to everybody, getting all their stories that he likes to get for the model cars and getting the photos taken, and had a great time doing that and talking with the people and just going around and seeing people that friends like Art and I got some time to sit down and talk a bit. And I didn't really talk to any, BG or Chuck. I don't care to talk to them when I'm at a show, but
I avoided them.
But it was great seeing a lot of friends I don't get to see until they come into town. I haven't been able this past year to get to any shows out of town, and it was nice to see everybody. So it made me, believe it or not, looking forward to it. And I was going to get down there a little earlier, but I heard what was going on, so I held back a bit. But when I got there, I think I got there about 10:30.
Something like that, yeah.
And I stayed right to the bitter end because I wanted to stay there with Scott and hang out with him, and it just gave me the opportunity to talk to just more of old friends and stuff. So that's what made that really cool. I didn't enter anything. I didn't really be part of the show in any way, except for the fact of, I wanted to walk around. And I met a lot of new people, met a lot of fans, viewers, that appreciate. And that's always great, man. When I meet people that tell me that what I do on my channel inspires them is like the coolest thing in the world. And it's neat to meet people, and they're excited and they want to show me their models, and I see what they've done. And sometimes they go, I did this because I saw this on one of your videos. And it's like, okay, I'm going to do this for another year then, because that makes it worth it all the while. So that's what makes that day when it comes around a lot of fun, exhausting. Then we go do our thing at night, and that was fun. I had a great time over at your house when we had the Model Car Mafia meeting, even though it was kind of a light showing because the show went on 8 hours later than it usually does. But it gets rough. But man, I just had a great time over at your house, and it was cool. It was a really great day, and it's cool to get those great days.
Yeah, it was good. A good time to decompress afterwards.
Boy, I decompressed into absolute Sunday. I don't remember Sunday.
Yeah,
holy decompression.
He was so decompressed, he was boneless.
Oh.
So, yeah, I had a really good time once I got through the line. But I was just like, the registration was a little bit on the slow side. But I'm just, I can see everybody's heads, no problem. And I'm seeing Chuck and Marty and a couple of other friends out there wandering around buying stuff over at Art's table, kind of thing. And I'm sitting there going, I want to go play with my friends. Come on. Why am I
1 hour later?
Yeah. 1 eternity later.
I have a question if I can squeeze it in, and that's for everybody.
Yeah.
When you come back from a show like that, are you pumped and want to start building stuff, or are you in overload and like, oh man, I got
1,000%. Every show I go to, I'm pumped and I really want to hit the table. So it's crazy how you say this, because like if I'm out of state going to a show, like Colorado or like Art Show or Vegas is a good one to say. Mm-hmm. I go to the show and I'm there another day or two, and I really want to be home because I want to build.
Yeah,
I'm super pumped. It's like I cannot wait. I'm opening kits I bought. I'm going through them, but I can't build it. I can't sand anything. I can't do anything, and I'm jonesing to start the next masterpiece or something. It's in my head.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's
definitely
crazy that I savor to build after a show, and it's crazy you say that. It's every show. Show.
Yeah, I'm like, after a show, I might be physically absolutely destroyed, especially as I've been getting older, just wiped out, and I go unconscious for a while. But I'm leaving that show. I am pumped. I'm ready to knock a model out of the ballpark. If I think I got a million of ideas, because you see so many things that inspire you. Like at the show last weekend, I'm looking at one, for instance, that really, really inspired me was Jay Colburn's Rain-X Camaro. His crazy detail in that thing. And I was talking to him about it. And of course, I threw one of our chips down on there. I had to. I was like, and it was, by the way, I want to really thank BG. Was like, you haven't had an opportunity to, it was my first time being able to be at a show with our chips. So he gave me his and let me go around and judge. And I did 3 out of the 4. We had 4 chips. And I really spent the time and looked at every frickin' model. And it was tough. It was really tough. Yep. But it's like models that just inspired me. I was down to the last one, and I look at Chuck. I go, dude, do you want to do this one?
and
he knew exactly what he was going to.
I knew exactly which one I liked.
Yeah,
I knew exactly. And after, like, I dropped that coin on there.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like people were overlooking that thing, and I was like, man, it's probably one of the most beautiful kits here.
Yeah.
And how do you make a box stock model look like it has $1,000 into it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like $1 million. It's clean.
You just know his name's Mitch.
Yeah, and
for anybody,
coffin.
Yeah.
Which
beautiful,
is funny.
Beautiful car.
We chipped 2 little coffins. I picked a little coffin, and Chuck picked a little coffin. Yep. But my little coffin was more like a big coffin, really. It was a large scale that Teresi did, which was
absolutely stunning.
Just a flawless model. It was beautiful. I was staring at that thing and just going, wow. So
absolutely
all that
stunning.
pumped me up. And but looking at Jay's Rain-X, I've been wanting to do, which that kit is pretty much the same kit as the Motorcraft Mustang IMSA kit. It's really the same kit as that Rain-X kit. And I've been wanting to kind of get on that. It's actually one that Billy Strange and I have been talking to, because I sold him a couple of those. And looking at Jay's Camaro and all the detail he put into it, it was like, I want to do that. But then, God, man, life's so short to be all these other models I want to do. I got to pick one, but a couple of them that I can put that heavy detail in. But he inspired me a lot with that model, and among many others.
Yeah.
And man, it really was cool to get a good look at BG's dart bag.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got a lot of great compliments on that. It
Yeah,
felt good to show that.
That was super cool.
To answer Jason's question, I have a mixed bag of situations where I'm like ecstatic and want to get back to the bench and like finish something that I'm already working on. So now I feel energized to do that. But at the same time, I'm so tired that I just need a day or two to just be like, oh, it's done, it's over. Okay, regroup and then move on.
So-
It's probably because of the ADD thing where it's like having to be with people all day long and stuff. Just wears you out.
This weekend was different, though. I mean, this weekend, it was Friday. We went to Marv's.
Yeah.
Which I want to say thank you very much to Marv for hosting that awesome party he has every year, and I think all of us were there except Matt. I think.
I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, that was on purpose. That was by design.
Oh, okay. I totally understand and agree.
And then we went to the show, of course. And then the next day we had a few people go to dinner, and that was fun too. It was the dinner part was the relaxing part. I think of the wind down. But yeah, that whole weekend, man, I'm still recouping from that weekend. It was so packed full of activities.
Hey, we can't forget to address my new nickname, Chuck, either.
Oh, yeah.
Can you elaborate on that further?
Number
please.
Yeah, so, at that show, the judging is
I love it.
The judging's open, where everybody's around and the judges are in the middle of the crowd judging the models. And usually I don't like to, some guys hover, around their model.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't want to
neither.
hear day, so I walk away. But I happen to be walking by heading somewhere, and one of the judges has my my entry in the out of the box class. It was a Tamiya 1982 Celica Long Beach Grand Prix pace car, and so he happens to have it up in the air like this.
He's holding it up in the air.
Holding it up in the air, yeah.
Oh my god!
And
Which I don't understand that, but go ahead.
Yeah.
and he looks at the bottom and goes, "Oh, it doesn't even have an engine. It's a curbside. Why didn't he put it in curbside?" He goes, "Not in my top 5. Put it down like that."
Damn. So the remainder of the time, we called Art number 6.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Which
Wow,
which
that is-
everybody out there, that's how humble Art is. He didn't even care. I mean, there was humor in it, and we all had fun.
It was just having a good time.
Did
Yeah.
he really
was
slam it
funny.
down like that too?
He didn't slam it, no, but he just
Oh,
he set
good.
it back down. Just kind of dismissed it because it didn't.
No,
It wasn't.
I
the hood
I
didn't
tell you-
slam.
He saved
I would-
that for the slammers category, Matt.
It was
that
funny.
was I really liked that model. I didn't realize it was yours. I didn't look at the name because I was that was one that I was like going back and forth on a couple of them with that. I wanted to, I wanted to chip.
Oh yeah.
So I really like that. That turned out.
You can mail it to me if you want.
Got one left, buddy.
I'm going to make a custom one that says number 6 on it.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
do
right.
that.
I take it.
No, I gave Matt the chips. I flipped him the chips. Like, here you go, kid. Go nuts. Don't spend them all on one model.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that, BG. I really enjoyed that. Really taking a gander and looking at the models. I usually just worm over stuff, and I looked at every model on tables. And man, it was some great stuff from a lot of California guys and other places. So
Yeah, putting out the chips really causes you to engage in what's going on that table. Yep.
Yeah.
There was a guy there from Alaska.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, he was at the IPMS show too.
Yeah.
Jim.
He's done it twice.
Jim's awesome.
I chipped his I chipped it.
Did he punch you after? Did he
He
punch you
punched
after
me
you
right
chipped
out
his
for
muscle?
chipping his GTO. Yeah, no, I threw one down for his GTO, and that was like I was down to like 3 cars for that chip, and it was his GTO, it was Art's thing, whatever. Sorry, Art.
Pace car.
Race car.
What was it? A Celica pace car. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like that. And I was looking at this 57 Chevy that was, I can't remember what class it was in, but it was like right over by where you. I think it was in. No, it wasn't box stock, but it was close to the box stock. It was in that same area. And man, that 57 Chevy was cool too. But I went with that GTO. It was just I kept walking back to it.
Yeah, well, that was a Revell GTO, right?
It was the Revell GTO.
Yeah.
I mean, his
So-
paint was just really nice, smooth. It wasn't over the top. It looked factory. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Like new in the showroom back in 1966 paint job, you know?
So, fun fact about the Revell GTO kit is they bounce better than the the MPC kits.
Oh no.
Yeah. You know it.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a good show. I had a really good time hanging out with my buds, and I think Chuck can probably attest to that too, because we had a lot of friends coming from out of state, and we had VCG Resins and Scale Speed Garage come down from Colorado. Got
Always
to spend time with
good
them.
to see them.
Always good to see those guys. Even though had a rough time with American Airlines.
Yeah.
I think the majority of us were able to cheer him up a little bit, and
tacos
really seemed to help. The tacos were really seeming to help.
Tacos always help.
Always help.
Mm-hmm.
I sure hope they're taking care of him.
If you have an emotional wound, slap a taco on it.
Slap a taco on it.
No.
Well,
that's going to be my new shop slogan.
I was going to say that's a good slogan.
Slap a taco on it.
Slap a taco on it.
Exactly. Day's not going that great. Emotional wounds. Slap a taco on it.
I like it.
You're welcome, world. I'm here to create. All right, cool. Art, anything else to add about the Scale Classic hanging out with us?
Just had a great time seeing you guys as always. That's all.
Absolutely. I was actually surprised to see you, Art. For some reason, I didn't think you were going to be there. And you were putting down your petty car, and I go, "Oh, that's cool." And I'm looking at it, and I looked at you, and for some reason, I didn't recognize you for that split moment. Yeah, he looks like a jolly gentleman. And oh, wait, that's Art.
Yeah. Every time I see Art
shirt on is what gave it away for me.
The what?
The Protec
you had
shirt.
Protec on the back of your shirt.
Yeah,
so like when it's like, who the heck would wear a Protec shirt but Art, you know?
Yeah. I asked you how to get that shirt, and you're like, well, got it from somebody else.
I got it from Mr. Teresi.
That's right.
So he'll be happy to mention his name.
Every time I see Art at a show, I'm like, every time I see Art at a show, whenever I see Art at a show, I always wave at him like the Forrest Gump meme. You know? Hi, Art. But and then he goes, "Hey, BG."
Yeah, he's too cool for school.
Yeah, I say, don't make eye contact, people go away. But no, always fun. But you're not going to make it to the Vegas show, yeah?
No, one of my good friends, 30-year-old, been friends for 30 years. He's getting married that weekend, and so
can he move the date?
Right.
I wanted him to, but
I mean, come on.
Maybe
the Best of the West only shows up once a year.
Right,
exactly,
but maybe
right?
he could move the location to Vegas. Do one of those
that
drive-through
would be
ones.
perfect, but
do one of those drive-through ones or whatever they have, or with Elvis.
that's what me and my wife did actually.
Is that right?
Yeah, we had Elvis marry us in Vegas. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do an Elvis impersonation.
No, you can't.
Thank you.
Had Elvis drive a taxi for us in Vegas once. Most terrifying experience I've ever had.
Yeah, because he's dead.
Good grief.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a Ghostbusters episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I try to do a Vegas Elvis invitation, it comes out being more like Johnny Bravo from Cartoon Network. Hey, pretty boy. Yeah.
Oh, that's close enough.
Yeah.
Do you, pretty mama, take this here, pretty daddy, to be your lawful wedded husband? I do. Good. And vice versa. All right. Yeah.
Man. Johnny
Next.
Bravo there, right there.
Next. All right, cool. Hey, I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and do our goodbyes?
Oh.
And
great.
yeah, it's time for
Great, grand, wonderful.
Grand.
Best show ever.
Best. There it is. Thank you. Oh,
There
by the
it
way,
is.
did you get
All
that
right.
letter from legal? You're not allowed to say that on other live streams and podcasts.
Well, dang it.
Yeah.
Trademark infringement, my friend.
Exactly. That's a $10,000 fine, sir.
$10,000.
$10,000, or the equivalent of trying to get one model kit in from China nowadays. So, Jason, why don't you go ahead and lead us in the closing, please?
All right. So, as always, if you haven't, please consider giving us a 5-star review. It helps to promote and push the podcast out to the masses in different ways than has been done so far. Please go check out modelpodcast.com to find other great scale modeling podcasts. You'll find a podcast centered around whatever you enjoy building, be it armor, planes, cars, Gundams, and or figures. Next, there's an email in the About section of the podcast. Please reach out with any questions, topic suggestions, or even hate mail for any one of us, not just Chuck.
Yeah, he can't get all the hate mail.
You can't get it all. And then we have a Facebook that you can also join. You can contact us through that. Share your pictures, tips, and tricks. Easiest way to get on there is answer the 3 questions, please.
Say that again.
Answer the 3 questions.
There you go.
Please. And that is it for the closing.
Nice hang time on the last bit there. Kudos to you. All right, Matt, lead us in the goodbyes. Thanks.
I love it when he does this.
That was so weird. Well, no, he's like silent, but he also glitched there. It's Matt. Yeah. It's Matt Headroom again.
Oh, classic. All right. Well, you know that means we have to start all over again from the beginning.
God, it was so good.
Welcome to episode 38. All right, Matt, go ahead.
Yes. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching and listening now that we're being watched. And this is me, Lucas C, aka Matt, coming from the Lucas C channel. And thanks. Bye.
Very good. Chuck?
See, he does it every time too, and it's like actually funny. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's when Chuck is funny.
Chuck's funny when he's not saying anything.
Yeah, I love that. Was my favorite, Chuck.
Well, this is Chuck from Chuck's Hobby Spot. See you on the next episode of the Scale Model Car Podcast.
Ooh. Very nice.
Very nice.
I think I got some competition there. Number 6, Art.
Hey, just thanks a lot, guys, for having me on. I really do appreciate it. So can't wait to see you guys at the show, SoCalOpen.org, and my store at scaleproshop.com. See you guys.
Do it.
Good plug.
Links in the descriptions.
Jason?
Doesn't sound creepy at all.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for like and subscribe. What am I trying to say?
Oh.
Thanks for listening. Thank you for watching. Now that we have a YouTube channel up, I'm Jason from the Blue Ox Model Shop. You can find me at all the popular social medias, as well as on my live on Sunday from 4 to 6. Me and some buddies, Justin Ryan, the Outlaw, and now Tim Ryan, will entertain you for 2 hours by acting like complete idiots and trying to build models.
How awesome is that?
Tune into that.
It's going to be 2 hours of watching people try to use sharp objects on a camera.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So you can find that on my YouTube channel as well as the Scale Model Outlaws channel.
Right on. Thank you, buddy. And this is BG saying thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating on the Facebook page. We always like what you guys are posting on there. It's just getting better and better. And we also say thank you to our friends for the podcast, IcemanCollections.com, VCG Resins by Reese, Scale Model Garage, White Tanks Hobbies, Auto Modeler Magazine, And please remember to check out our friends over at the AMC Livecast every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the YouTubes.
The YouTubes.
And of course, a very special thank you to Art Laski for wasting his entire evening with us. We appreciate that very, very much, sir.
And it's a Friday night. Jeez.
And final thoughts. I don't need an award to entice me to go to a show, just some buds to hang out with and a vendor table to go broke at. All right. Bye for now. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Best show ever.
Yay! You're very loud today, Matt.
He's coughing.
I am loud.
You're very loud, yeah.
Let me work on that.
And I hear that buzzing noise.
Shut the f up, Chuck.
Like you got a 1950s refrigerator in the background.
I pretty much do. That's what my computer is. I still haven't been able to change out my computer yet.
That's a perfect level. Okay, we have pressed the record button, so you know the first 3 rules of podcasting. Anything goes. That's it. All right. So, any questions before we get started? Art?
No, I think I'll just have to roll with you here.
Okay. If at any time you say something that you're like, I'm not really comfortable with saying that, let us know. We'll mark it, and then maybe Matt will be able to take it out. I preface that with maybe because sometimes he just forgets.
Or doesn't care. Let me get my notes. You know, I'm going to start taking some notes myself. What do you think?
That's a good idea.
Don't believe it.
All right, Jason, do you have the new email address written down?
No, but I don't really ever give out the email. I just say that it's posted somewhere.
Ah, okay, that's right. Okay, thank you.
What is the new email address?
I actually don't know.
The Scale Model Car Podcast at mattsucks.com.
I didn't know the first email, so I guess it doesn't matter, right?
You dropped, when you did this one, you dropped it's just Scale Model Car Podcast.
Yeah.
At gmail.com.
Right. Because I was having a hard time spelling the and Gmail.
Oh, God. that same thing happens to me all of the time. I just dropped a video for Scott. Oh, boy. Everybody look busy.
I can't wait till Felix gets a cell phone. I can text him. Go bother your papa right now.
And you will. I know you will.
Mrs. BG.
I refer. Hello.
Oh, surprise!
Get a room.
BG's home.
We're in a room. Go away.
Not Louisville.
She's back. Yeah, she's back from Louisville. She knows how to pronounce it now.
Yeah.
Louisville.
Maybe.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up so I can go hang out with Louie.
Oh, that's funny.
I need to go say hi to Mrs. GG and also to the bathroom. Maybe not in that order.
Take care of that buzzing noise.
I would definitely do the bathroom first. You don't want to pee yourself when you get excited because
I'll be like,
he's
so good to see you. I gotta go now.
One of the earliest ones I went to, you know, they had dioramas and they're really cool to look at, you know, and some of them are, have you seen the kind that are like in a box and you have to peek into it to see what you look in? And it's Elvis's bathroom and he's on the toilet and he's like this.
Oh my God.
And there's pills on the sink and stuff. I was just like, oh my God. That's the worst
Oh my
thing
God.
That's bad.
That's awful.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Now that is some crap.
I got to have airplane biscuits.
Oh, lucky you.
I think Jason has the hardest question usually. but yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Because that one actually takes a scratch of the head going, well, what? But we'll get to that.
It's Brian Gugamos, not Brian Juggamos.
Juggalo. Oh, and that sounds like juggalos, and I hate juggalos.
Oh, there you had to go down the ICP road, didn't you?
That's error code 404. Reference not found, but we'll just let that lie.
Hey, you know what's cool is some of those. Was it this show or no? It was the last show. Never mind.
Oh,
I don't even want to bring it up.
I'm gonna have to cut that.
Thanks for chiming in, Chef.
Right.
I'm not cutting it out.